background, and should it be in this room? And that means it has the background song. I suppose so. Is it just in the middle of all of this?
Oh,
I need to instigate.
this is the one I've been
That's not the
for.
thing. That's not the thing.
Time for me to tweak out.
Heavy metal, what is? Heavy metal, often shortened to just metal, is a genre of rock music which developed in the late 1960s and early 70s, mainly in the United States and Great Britain. It's generally characterized by fast tempos, dissonant tones, distorted guitars, guitar solos, loudness, and a focus on darker, often aggressive themes. The music itself is often accompanied by guitars, basses, drums, and vocalists, and although this template is almost always used, there are times where this is not the case. For instance, when a song is instrumental, or when extra instruments are added, or even removed. The core part of a metal song is a riff, which, in musical terms, is a motif. A riff can often be attributed as heavy, whereby the meaning of this is not within one category in its composition, but it is entirely subjective. Common grounds for heavy riffs are often a strong distortion in the melody, a large portion of bass frequencies, a focus on rhythm, power, chords, etc. Oftentimes, when talking about heavy metal musicians, one mentions bands, which are simply groups of metal musicians collaboratively making music. Each band as a metal as a genre allows for such a high freedom of style, is characterized by its own sound, tone, theme, and topics, such that they often sound unique in comparison to each other. To the reader who got to the end of this is just Arma's English essay on metal. And Metal 2. Next post. As a preliminary remark, the reader must be informed that the following associations are not necessarily always valid for all metal, as a specific genre takes their own spin on this formula. Therefore, the following is to be a general model for a typical metal genre. Metal is a genre of music which orients itself strongly on rhythm and feeling. As a result, we often see even time signatures such as 4/4 in order to intensify the feeling of rhythm. Riffs are often written in such a way that they are rhythmic in nature. They are often played staccato. I don't know how to pronounce that. Armament? How is it pronounced? Staccato. Have small pauses within them to further establish the sense of rhythm, and the technique of palm muting, which will be explained in the later part of this essay, is also used extensively. In the drum, there is often a focus on the bass and snare drums, but in more extreme forms of double bass or even blast beats can be used. This whole rhythmic aspect gives metal the heavy effect it is known for. In the plane of harmony, metal uses simpler melodies and riffs and, most importantly, power chords, which intensify the feelings of power in metal songs, but feelings of tension are often focused upon too. Commonly occurring intervals in songs are tritones, quints, minor chords, and minor seconds. Scales used are very often minor. Sometimes blues scales are used too. Chromatic scales make an appearance as well, especially in more extreme songs and guitar solos. Metal 3. Metal so focuses very strongly on the second, perhaps more than any genre of music, rather than even riffs, whereby they are still great importance. But the sound of the music itself can make or break the piece. The practice of recording and producing metal while focusing on the individual instruments and, in actuality, any music is called mixing. Mastering, on the other hand, is the practice of taking the finished song and modifying it externally with focus on the audio frequencies and loudness without access to the individual instruments. Before anything, a song is often either written thoroughly or improvised on the spot, then revised and iterated until a coherent riff, melody, beat, and lyrics naturally spring out. This process can be formal, but also very free and unregulated, especially with younger bands or bands that focused more on feeling rather than musical prowess. It is such that one does not need to know music theory in order to write metal songs, as there are subgenres which focus precisely on simpler ideas and slower tempos, if that is easier to write. Oftentimes, a metal song can be homemade, even by one person, playing all of the instruments, but a band is the typical creator. A demo of the song, which is a homemade recording of the band playing the song, often of low quality and not meant for commercial listening, is sent to a studio, where the song may be further developed and eventually properly recorded and produced for commercial use. Here, as modern headphones are able to differentiate between the left and right ear, a very strong focus is placed on the stereo aspect of songs, where there's a clear line between that the right ear needs to hear and what the left ear needs to hear. Both ears, however, still need to be mixed in such a way that the end song makes sense. I think that's all of metal. Is the next post. Okay, new slug cat. Check it out, users. A cooperator shall bestow it upon you. That's the entire post. It's posted at 024. New slug cat update. Actually, just ask Arma if you see them online to clone it. It appears Arma has forgotten to upload it to their world, and as a bonus, things they are on 2-week vacation, so no world updates in the meantimes. I know my bonus was fully capitalized. Next post. Arma update. Arma is on vacation. They shall be online more, but make less avatars. Perhaps one avatar in these 2 weeks. Furthermore, Arma feels that the following may be told. Arma, in their wisdom, and as they usually collect knives, left an open knife on their bed. And as they had a cold, they tried to grab a tissue from their bed without looking, resulting in their finger being hurt. They can't control a controller well, but it's not that bad, dear readers. Arma had to improvise regarding the finding of a proper way to stop the bleeding. Surprisingly, it has lasted much longer than Arma is used to. Back to the point. Why is the reader to be bestowed with such information? Who knows? Arma certainly doesn't. Arma is the mere writer here. Next post. Merry Christmas. Arma wishes the readers a Merry Christmas. Next post. It's 3 a.m. Time for another Arma announcement. Arma is taking their sleep schedule on a demolition trip. They are writing this announcement at 3 a.m. in their time zones as we speak, dear reader. Arma has been asked a question recently. How have you been doing? And the answer to that question was more complex than a simple one-word response could ever hope to honor. Yesterday, they spent what may have been 4 hours in an empty church. Arma truly does not remember if it was really 4 hours, or if they only deduced it was from their session timer, and the fact that they did not remember being in any other instance when they started the game. The only way their mind was transported back into reality was when a friend asked to join them. But it was 4 a.m. already, and time seems to fly sometimes. Funnily enough, that friend was also playing the game at 4 a.m. due to matching time zones. Emotion, you see, dear reader, is the product of a certain effect of the mind, rather binary, albeit not so much the feeling of good and bad, including its intensity and the circumstance in which this feeling arises. All emotions are responsive or anticipatory products of feelings and circumstances. For instance, loneliness is an intense, bad feeling whose circumstances are physical distance from others. But here, specifically, social distance may also apply as a circumstance. Longing is a negative feeling made with the lacking of an anticipated good feeling under a given circumstance. Love is nothing but an intensely positive feeling relating to a person. Yes, indeed. Perhaps these words have interested you, dear reader.
That fucking spinning around in a circle.
But I have to wait till you're done speaking though.
I mean,
It's finished.
look at that
Wait
tiny
for-
brain.
Sorry, what?
cat. Also,
Why are you spinning?